Now, this is a question from ratios. We'll first see the inconvenient traditional method, and then we'll see how we can adjust so that we make the solution much easier. So what we have here are two people, Rajesh and Vimal, who own 20 and 30 hectares respectively of land, which are entirely covered by wheat and mustard crops. The cultivation area of wheat and mustard in the land owned by Vimal are in the ratio 5:3. Total cultivation area of wheat and mustard are in the ratio 11:9. Then ratio of cultivation area of wheat and mustard in the land owned by Rajesh will be what? So the traditional method, if we start with that, first we have Rajesh, who has 20 hectares in total. Then we have Vimal, who has 30 hectares in total. And if we combine 20 plus 30, the total for Rajesh plus Vimal is 50. Now for all of these, we have to split into wheat and mustard crops. Rajesh is the one that we have to find. What is the ratio? Okay, for Vimal, we have information, wheat and mustard. And same for the total, we have information. So you can see logically, the question is pretty straightforward. Anyone can solve this. But now, if we actually start solving it, we'll face a problem. See, if we, for example, look at the total of wheat and mustard are in the ratio 11:9. Now, the total is 50. And this 50, we have to split in the ratio 11:9. Now, 11 plus 9 is total 20 parts. Okay, 20 parts total are giving us 50 total, but 50 is not divisible by 20. So the problem will be, we'll get decimal values. For example, if we find the total wheat, that will be 11 parts out of total 20 parts into the total 50. And what will that be? That will be 11 into 2.5. So that would be 27.5. Now, of course, we can calculate wheat here, 50 minus 27.5, which is 22.5, but not very convenient to deal with decimal numbers. And then if you look at Vimal's value now, see, Vimal, we have the wheat and mustard for Vimal are in the ratio 5:3. Now, 5 and 3 together, 8 parts. But Vimal, we don't have a multiple of 8. 30 is not at all a multiple of 8. So again, we will not be able to divide it cleanly into 5 parts and 3 parts. We'll get decimal values again. So if I show this, wheat, for example, will be 5 parts out of total 8 parts. 5 by 8 into the total 30 that is there for Vimal. Okay, so if you calculate this, you will get 150 by 8, which will be 75 by 4. That will be 18.75. And then you can calculate 30 minus 18.75. So that will be 11.25. And then, of course, you can calculate for Rajesh 27.5 minus 18.75. You'll get the wheat for him. Similarly, mustard, you can either do 20 minus the wheat, or you can do mustard total minus mustard for Vimal. But again, the calculation are very inconvenient here. So let's see a method that would make this calculation much, much easier. Now, what we first have to understand here is that ultimately we need to find a ratio. We don't need to find the actual quantity or the actual hectares for wheat and mustard for Rajesh, just the ratio. And we have all the information in terms of ratio. For the total, we have a ratio. For Vimal, we have a ratio. And Rajesh and Vimal, we have the actual quantities. But we can just take the ratio instead, because we don't need the actual numbers for the answer. Okay, so if you look at Rajesh and Vimal, I'll just show it at the side. We have 20:30. Okay, which we can simplify to 2:3. So let's deal with this simplified ratio, and then let's adjust this so that we get very convenient calculations. Now, first thing we can see is that for Vimal, we will have total 8 parts. So we need Vimal's value in the ratio, total hectares for Vimal, to be a multiple of 8. Okay, so whatever we have here, 2:3, we will multiply with 8. So we will get 8 into 2, 16. 8 into 3, 24. Now Vimal's part 24, if we assume, that will be a multiple of 8. So we can easily divide it in the ratio 5:3. And now if you look at the total we need total 20 parts. And we can see that the total we are getting here, 16 plus 24, that is 40, which is a multiple of 20. 20 into 2. So this 40 we can easily split in the ratio 11:9. Okay, so we can see that these values, 16 and 24 for Rajesh and Vimal, this will be very convenient. And again, we will still get the right answer because we are still using this relationship 20:30, 2:3. So if we start with this, okay, if we look at first of all the total here we are taking as 40. Now out of this total 40, if we look at wheat and mustard, here 20 parts are giving us 40. 20 into 2 is 40. So here we will get 11 into 2, 22, and we will get 9 into 2, 80. And then if you look at Vimal, of course, we've taken 24. So now we can see that total 8 parts are giving us 24. 8 into 3 is 24. So here wheat will be 5 into 3, 15. And mustard will be 3 into 3, 9. And now we can easily find for Rajesh. Rajesh, we have total 16. Rajesh's wheat will be 22 minus 15. That will be 7. And mustard will be 18 minus 9. So that will be 9. So we can see for Rajesh, we will get wheat and mustard in the ratio 7:9, which is there in option 2. We can see this calculation becomes very convenient. And here we could have been even faster. We could have thought that ultimately we can just focus on one crop. We can either focus on wheat or mustard. Okay, for example here, if I had just looked at the wheat, here out of total 40, if I had just calculated 11 into 2, 22. Then similarly for Vimal, if I had just calculated this 5 into 3, 15, then I could have easily seen for Rajesh, 22 minus 15, wheat will be 7. And then out of his 16, if wheat is 7, then of course the mustard will be 16 minus 7, which will be 9. So 7:9. So this would have made the solution even faster. See how many calculations we are doing and how long that will take. Okay, now try out the same better method using this replica question and make sure that you put your answer in the comment section.